Well, the Magic Kingdom has been turned into a construction zone, and it is unlikely to end anytime soon. Even those who were in favor of the destruction of Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer's Island, few as they might be, are now singing a different tune. Today, we'll tell you why it's going to be a very long time before Disney World recovers. Hello, folks, and welcome back to That Park Place. It is the channel that brings you all the news that should be fun, but things are glum over at the Magic Kingdom. Today, we're going to tell you why this is a huge mistake, and they're stuck. They're completely stuck. Click the like button, and let's get into the muck of it all, because, yeah, they're draining the Rivers of America. The walls are up. Construction sounds abound. And we're hearing now that the plan is at Magic Kingdom to increase the volume, rumor and speculation here, but we're hearing this from our sources that they're planning now to raise the volume in the audio in Frontierland and Liberty Square. I don't know how you're going to hear yourselves even talk or think, but they have got to wipe out the construction sounds that are going to be everywhere. And those construction walls are going to, it's going to be closed in. Of course, it already is, but they're finishing that up. Boy, oh boy, this is just going to be a giant mess. And so, folks, I'm starting to see now, and you can go find this yourselves, that on X and other places, some of those ardent defenders of Disney are beginning to finally bid farewell to that nonstop defense, and they're getting off the fence. So let me tell you why I think that is. And the clearest explanation I can give you is they now realize that they are stuck. They are completely stuck in a spiral where they want to be as positive as they can be. They want to be a cupcaker. They want to be a pixie duster. They want to say all the nice things that help them get into the next access media event. They want to get into the early access stuff in the mornings. They want to get to meet the Imagineers and get the interviews, because all of that, they believe, drives views. And yet, they see what is happening with those such as ourselves and others who are simply telling the truth. And that's where people are going now. And they realize, and this is the big one that you need to know, they're looking at the schedule. They don't want to say this out loud, but they're looking at Frontierland being in this kind of a construction zone. And the parade, oh my gosh, the parade is going to go through the construction zone, and it makes the parade just terrible. At least it's at night, right? But they're looking at this and they're realizing that the people who are going to Universal Studios right now, in Epic Universe, that they don't have to cover up anything. In fact, Epic Universe is building expansions already, and there's no need to hide it. People are excited. And at Disney now, and this is where we get to the big news, I guess. This is now a construction zone at Magic Kingdom that the earliest we can perceive and conceive that this will be done just in this phase is 2028. That is the quickest we believe they can get this done. So they now have 2.5 years. 2.5 years of what they experienced at Epcot, Walcott, except now it's at Magic Kingdom. And you look at Epcot and you realize things aren't better there than when they began. They're worse. Epcot has never been in as bad a situation as it is today. Now, we could throw Harmonious in there and say that when Harmonious was Epcot's night show, maybe it was worse, right? But when they started the $1 billion investment, things were better. And then they ruined it. They spent $1 billion to screw over Epcot. Now, those same leaders, the same ones, by the way, who were in charge of Tiana's Bayou Adventure, are making a big boo-boo in Magic Kingdom. And this is going to go on for years. And the pixie dusters, the cupcakers, the access media types, they're realizing that they don't get to do this thing that drives their views, which is, oh, I'm going to ride Tiana's. I'm going to take a picture on the top and show photos of Cars Land being built, because people don't want it. Like, what are they going to do? They can take pictures off the top of Tiana's and show, oh, they've drained the rivers now, that thing you love. No. And Disney knows this was unpopular. Why do you think that they moved the Liberty Bell earlier this week out in the dead of night? Why do you think they hid it at the dock and they don't want to tell you what they're planning to do with it? Why do you think that they're not talking in any kind of major way about the railroad and the fact that it's going to be going back and forth between two stations, front ways and back ways, for years? because this is extremely unpopular. And so for the access media, what they have to now deal with is they can either placate the House of Mouse and continue to carry its cheese for it, but at the cost of becoming irrelevant with their viewers, or they can be late to the game doing what we're doing, which is, you know what, we're going to call balls and strikes. And if they do that, then they lose their access media privileges, and they're too late. Because even if they do that, we've been doing this for years with great success. Now, I'm not saying they shouldn't do that. I'm telling you they should do that. They should tell the truth. They should stop being corporate shills. What's put them in a hard place where they can no longer hang on as the cupcakers and pixie dusters that they have been is the length of time that this is going to go on. And for those of you watching the videos right now, and you're surfing X and you're like, I can't believe that they put the walls up through the entire thing. I can't believe it. Well, you can believe it. And Frontierland looks silly now, right? So they did it. They put it up. And the pixie dusters and cupcakers have to deal with this now for years. We're going to hear construction noises. We're going to hear bang, bang, pow, pow, all of that for something that people don't want. And then after that, supposedly sometime down the road in the future, they're going to start on Villains Land, right? But who's excited about Villains Land at this point? Nobody. Compare that to like when you found out that Mario was coming with Epic Universe. Or compare that with when you saw what they were going to do with the Harry Potter section at Epic Universe. Disney is responding to Epic Universe with things that just do not engender great excitement. So this is causing the problem. Now, yes, Frontierland is going to be an eyesore, and it's going to be for years. The question is, now that the pixie dusters are beginning to jump ship, as Disney has floated its ship right on out of the Magic Kingdom, the question is, how long can Disney go about this before attendance starts to not just stagnate, but drop? And the answer to me seems to be about 2 years. So they've got to get this wrapped up in 2027. I don't think they're going to do it. But by 2028, if this thing gets delayed, or if this turns into an Epcot situation where it's like 5 or 6 years of walls everywhere, then what I think happens is I think people start actually finding out about this and telling their friends, telling their neighbors, don't go to Magic Kingdom. And you got to remember, ladies and gentlemen, you got to remember that right now, what's going to happen is because of the way they've done this with the walls in Frontierland, it goes from Haunted Mansion all the way to Big Thunder. Now, that's a quarter of the park. That's 25% of your experience in Magic Kingdom is now construction zone. So you've blown the whole fantasy of Frontierland and Liberty Square. But the other problem is, as we've talked about in a video before here, they've locked people in Adventureland every time there's a parade. Because now with the walls on that side of Frontierland, there's no way that you can get over there to get out. So you're really stuck. And when the parade is going through, if you're anywhere between Crystal Palace and Pecos Bills, you don't go nowhere. Doesn't matter if it's day, night, whatever. It is going to be very difficult to transverse that. So those 3 parades, that's 3 hours out of the day. So not only is 25% of the park now walled off in construction area, but also it's difficult to get around for 3 hours. And you do the math and figure out how many hours the park is open. So people are going to start complaining, and people are going to start telling their friends and neighbors and family, you know what? I didn't have a good time. They're doing this. I don't know why they're doing this. We're not excited about what they're doing. I mean, you think Cars right now is driving? There's no Cars movie coming out in the near future that has kids excited, right? Okay. So you've got this situation going on right now with the Magic Kingdom. I think they've got 2 years. And after that 2 years, they're in deep trouble of attendance actually dropping off. There's only so long that you can have walls up and blare out the audio to try to cover up the sounds of construction happening on the other side of the fence. And the thing on the other side of the fence is not something that people want. 2 years is what I give them before they're in deep trouble. This is not something that can go on and on and on like they did with Epcot. If they do, they're in big trouble. If I'm still talking to you in 2030 about this, Disney is in major, major trouble, and Epic Universe may be the most visited theme park in the world. That's what Disney is racing up against. That is the cost of this dumb, doltish idea that they've doled out to all of you and to me, destroying that which was beautiful. restful, tranquil, and replacing it with off-brand cars based on planes. Jeez Louise, what a bad idea. But here we are. And as I said, the pixie dusters, the cupcakers, are finally starting to agree. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the video for today. Thank you for coming our way. Click that like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And if you are not yet checking out Prelude Pro Radio, where we have all original music 24/7, 365, don't miss out because more stations are coming. We have Chill Pill Lo-Fi Radio coming out in August, as well as seasonal offerings starting in September. You want to be there because, well, you can't listen to podcasters every single hour of the day. Why not add some tunes from people who think you're cool to your list? Until the next time, folks, don't miss another video. We'll see you real soon. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
Jump into the water.
Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun.
Want it all, so I give them cannonball. Yeah!
Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio. What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.